even the countdown is a grift. I could explain it to you, but it is. All of it is. That's what I'm saying. I'm not saying, actually, people might think from the title that I'm saying something negative about Steven Crowder. I'm saying it's all a grift, and we have to admit it to some extent. So I'll explain. Well, I can explain the grift, at least as far as it goes for me, and being on YouTube and whether I could survive not on YouTube, whether I would have the same revenue if I got a strike, or if I didn't get a strike, or if I got banned from some platform or another platform. We'll talk about contracts. We can talk about contracts. I know you've heard a lot. Some people said, I'm sick of hearing about Steven Crowder. That's by design. You're supposed to be sick of it. But I'll still talk about it. They had, for Tim Pool's show, one of the biggest audiences ever. I think there were 160,000 people tuned in to hear Steven Crowder complain. So is he justified in complaining? I could run that poll too. I think most people on the poll on Tim Pool's channel said that they agreed with Steven Crowder and they didn't take the Daily Wire side. I'll tell you what I think about it. I don't even want to take sides. So I don't want to spend a lot of time smearing Steven Crowder, who's looking out for his best interests. He thinks. So, but should he have dragged somebody else through the mud because of that? And should he have recorded a phone call because of that? That's where people, wonder. But I guess it's another thing to divide people. People can be divided. Are you on team Daily Wire? Are you on team Crowder? Are you on team Tim Pool? Tim Pool's on team Crowder. But I'm on team Crowder. I want him to succeed. I'd like to see people succeed. That means that maybe I could succeed when other people succeed. I shouldn't hold it against them. $50 million contract? Whoa. But wasn't exactly 50 million. It's true. So he talked about that on the interview. It wasn't exactly 50 million. And it definitely wasn't 50 million a year. But it wasn't exactly 50 million. And then the penalties were kind of steep, and they did add up to 110%. So what would I do if presented with such a contract? What would I do? It would be really crazy not to take it. And maybe it was crazy of Crowder not to take it because he might have been offered more than he's worth. And that's what ends up happening with a lot of stars. Sometimes they get paid more than they're actually worth. Sometimes. Maybe even Joe Rogan. Spotify's losing money. So are people really worth what they're paid? What about, who is it? Trump Jr.? No, that's a crazy investment that Rumble made. So we can talk about Rumble. They brought it up on the show. Whether, like, if you get banned off YouTube, well, you can go on Rumble, which is true. That's a good point. Can you get as many people on Rumble? Is Rumble a viable alternative to YouTube? Some people think it is. Is it working out for anybody? Are there any homegrown stars on Rumble? Or did they all come from YouTube first? Or somewhere else first? Is there anybody who organically grows on Rumble? Or is it all just people with contracts? So those answers, I'll tell you about that stuff. And also the big news. And I've been making some YouTube shorts. Maybe you guys caught them. I've been making some YouTube shorts to catch up on the news. So I'm looking into Demar Hamlin. I'll show you that. In the chat, if we just go by the chat, where I have a poll up right now that says, was Demar Hamlin at the Bills game? Most people say no by a 2-to-1 margin. Exactly 2-to-1. 67-33 at this instant. say that he wasn't at the game. So I'll show the video. You can decide whether he was at the game or not. I'll show the video. I'll show the post he made. I'll show you what people are thinking. And then we have to talk about Eliza Blue, too. We're catching up on a lot of stories. We also have to talk about Eliza Blue. We also can talk about Diamond and Silk. And we can talk about people dying to some extent. People definitely really are. And it's getting worse. So I'll show you some satire that goes along with that. All right. All that and more on this Lift the Veil show. Okay. Cue musical intro. Boy, that's brilliant. I do think some things in the world are real. Like you guys. You guys are real. Most of you. Most of my listeners, I think, are not just in my head. I think I have the metrics to prove it. You've taken a leap of faith today. What is that sound? And I apologize if you take offense. I'm a little offended myself. Welcome to our show. Welcome to the future. What it is. Joining you live from sunny California. It's a beautiful day today. I'm your host, Nathan Stoltman. And I bring you the news, the real news. Yes, and with really limited commercials compared to some other things that I watch. So allow me to say this show is supported by you. The best way to support the show right now would be to become a member at buymeacoffee.com/lifttheveil. That's what we're using as our payment processor, and it's subscriptions. That's the secret to success. Whether it's Alex Jones and supplements or Mug Club for Steven Crowder, it's getting people to subscribe so that they're buying things on a monthly basis or consistently, so that if anything ever happens to you, you still have people subscribed. So if you could become a subscriber, that'd be great. I'll give you a free t-shirt if you email me, if you subscribe. And don't scam me, because I can double check your email when you become a member. Go to buymeacoffee.com/lifttheveil. And it's $7 a month or more. You can choose to do more to become a student. And then I'll think about what I can offer you guys, because it is important to offer you something for it. So right now, so maybe a promise of things to come. I am working on some things. And I do weird stuff during the day, like other projects. So there might be things I can share with you. I just have to decide how. But become a member. Go to buymeacoffee.com/lifttheveil. Click the membership tab. Become a member, and you can leave a note. And you can also just super chat that way by buying coffees. So, and then also we have t-shirts. Yeah, I told you, you can get a free t-shirt. I'll give you a coupon code. You have to pay shipping. And I get to pick the design. But if you become a member, check out our shirts at truthclothing.io. That's our clothing website. Here's our stuff. It's really cool. Our decentralized t-shirt, our propaganda t-shirts and hoodies, our Nassim shirts, which are made in America, question everything. Check it out, truthclothing.io. Support this broadcast. All right, let me show you. Demar Hamlin at the football game. We'll start with that. Demar Hamlin at the football game. People in the chat and people who are using Google right now are saying he's dead or that he's been replaced by a body double. Okay. I don't know if you were to say that. I mean, that's a conspiracy theory, right? But it's not specifically an anti-vax conspiracy theory. So I think I don't know, it's a gray area. You're not allowed to say people didn't die if they supposedly did die. I know that rule. But are you allowed to say that people did die when they supposedly didn't? Well, here's the video proof, video evidence of Demar Hamlin being at the game, which but the polls say he wasn't there. So this was it, though. I'll show you the video.
Looks like Demar Hamlin is in the building. Yes, if they show him in the stadium in any capacity, it will blow the doors off of this place. Demar Hamlin just showed up, and it looks like his mom and his little brother is there. Oh, we love to see it. Stay tuned. It's the Bengals, Bills, coming up on CBS.
So he's wearing like a full getup, hoodie, sunglasses, mask. Hoodie, sunglasses, mask.
Demar Hamlin returned to the facility this week. Sean McDermott telling us it was so good to have him around. He told us it's
there,
steps
like,
right
I
now.
mean, that's
it's
ridiculous.
Completely up.
And that's obviously just funny. Everybody's like, oh, yeah. So there's more video, though. But this is definitely all you see. All you see is definitely him in a hoodie with his mask on.
To Hamlin, how involved he wants to be every day. A spokesperson close to the family said despite being out of the hospital, he still has a lengthy recovery. He requires oxygen and he has his heart rate monitored regularly, but he is upbeat.
He requires oxygen, they said.
He has a big smile on his face.
Demar stood up, right?
So there he is.
This is it right here. What a scene. Oh.
Then he gives like the Masonic hand sign. He doesn't give the heart. It's not the heart that he's doing in another thing where he's doing the heart thing. He's doing the Masonic hand sign, and then he's got his, then he does the 2-666 hand sign. I know it's whatever, it's an okay sign, but I think that's what he's doing is an okay sign with both hands, which some people also say is like, I don't know. He's definitely all wrapped up. Don't know why. Is there something wrong with him? Did he have a stroke, or like is his face crooked? You think? He can move his arms, or that person can at least.
That's his sign.
Then they said that's his sign.
What a beautiful, triumphant story that galvanized this entire nation.
Is he doing a heart? It looks like he's doing the Masonic hand sign. Man, well, nobody's convinced. That's for sure. I did a Google search on it, and the Google search comes up Demar Hamlin dead or Demar Hamlin body double. So he also posted another thing to Twitter. I might have lost it. Let me go to his account. He posted a picture of himself that says clone. Let's see if I can show it to you. In the same outfit in front of a picture of himself. But it says clone. It has a ninja emoji. And it's him standing in front of himself doing a hand sign also, but he's doing the heart hand sign, which is maybe what he was doing. I don't know. Could be that he was doing the heart hand sign up in the booth. It looked like he was doing this though, right? Not like this. How do you do it? Like this? Looked like he was doing the other one. But there he is, right? And it says clone in quotes, like it's a joke. And he's wearing the same outfit with the same mask on and everything. But why does he have to wear a mask? Or And where's his oxygen? They said he needed oxygen. So where is that oxygen? Is he supposed to really be up and about? People have questions, that's for sure. It's definitely a conspiracy theory. And I don't know. I don't know the answer. But I do know what people are thinking. People think he's dead. I mean, which is kind of funny. I mean, it's funny to me when a lot of people are conspiracy theorists at the same time. Like, it makes me laugh because I'm used to me being a conspiracy theorist. But then when it's like mass formation, to borrow a phrase, but when it's actually a bunch of people that all think together at the same time that Demar Hamlin is actually dead and that he's been replaced, which is really crazy to think. But people really, I mean, I don't think people are totally trolling me in the poll. People genuinely think that he may have been replaced, but it is super weird. They are feeding he is feeding the conspiracy theorists coming out dressed like that. I mean, how are you supposed to recognize him? For sure. I mean, there's definitely no proof of life. I think there were pictures of him from the hospital room where he was alive, right? Do you remember that? I wonder if he posted anything to his Twitter of him. No. I was looking for pictures of him in the hospital room. I thought I saw a picture of him sitting up and looking normal in the hospital, but I can't say for sure. But that's definitely one conspiracy theory that's going on. Is Demar Hamlin actually dead? And then, what happened to him? But are we going to get more information? Was it really commotio cordis? But I have another conspiracy theory, and that was from Silk, Diamond and Silk. And this one is about the shot, but it's not about the shot. I made a YouTube short about it. Then I took it down because I didn't want to get a strike. She has a conspiracy theory. I'm not endorsing the conspiracy theory, but she has a conspiracy theory, and it's not the conspiracy theory that when you get the shot, you can die suddenly, but that even people who didn't get the shot can die suddenly, apparently. So this is what she said. And then you can decide whether she was like walking it back, but this is what she said originally at the funeral for Diamond. I'll play it for you. And she's talking about, okay, so YouTube says the vaccine, the COVID-19 vaccines, WHO and local health authorities have confirmed that they're safe and effective, and they slow the spread and they prevent you from hospitalization and death. Silk, this is Silk, thinks they might have had something to do with Diamond's death, but not in the way people thought initially after hearing this.
And another thing, instead of asking if Americans are vaxxed or unvaxxed, the real question to ask is, are Americans being poisoned? In the wild, when they want to depopulate and sterilize a large group of animals, they usually inject one animal. And then that one animal infect the rest of the animals. So technically, and according to the science, it doesn't matter if you're vaxxed or not. As long as the gain of function allows one injected person to transfer and infect another person, and that person infect another person, eventually everyone will be affected in one way or the other.
There you go. So that's kind of crazy. actually, I thought there was a different clip that was going around where people were saying they assume that Diamond did get the intervention, and that's why Silk was talking about it that way. But then this is a different part of the speech where she said, "Oh, it's because like from shedding, right? What conspiracy theorists call shedding." So, which even if I was to believe one conspiracy, even if I did believe the theory that the shots have something to do with the elevated rate of deaths, even if I subscribe to that theory, which I can't, but if I did, I wouldn't subscribe to the theory that that it affects people who are unvaxxed. I wouldn't think that that's possible. So even though in another version of reality, I agree with the idea that it's possible that in another version, not me, but the transferring it from what I don't know about that. So she said, "Don't call me a conspiracy theorist," but that's like next level, because nobody's saying, for the most part, conspiracy theorists, for the most part, I use that word lovingly, think that it's only vaxxed people who are dying suddenly. That's what the people I lovingly refer to as conspiracy theorists say, is that it's only the vaxxed people who are dying suddenly, where actually, and so it would be weird about unvaxxed people and then blaming that also on the shots, because most people now think unvaxxed people are fine, but Diamond was apparently, from what Silk is saying, didn't get it, and she still died suddenly. So it's good. The question is answered, but so the only thing, like I mentioned at the time, is Diamond was overweight, and sometimes that can contribute to an early death. Otherwise, yeah, it's hard to say. I thought maybe she had gotten it, but it turns out no. All right, but you guys know already what I said about what the rules are and so forth. All right, let me tell you about Steven Crowder. We'll talk about that. Then we'll still cover other news, because I know you don't want to hear too much Steven Crowder. Let's see. I have various clips, so we'll go over them. And if you'd like to donate to the stream, go to buymeacoffee.com/lifttheveil, and you can donate and leave a message or become a member. So trending right now on Twitter are hashtag died suddenly, actually spelled incorrectly. It's funny when things trend that are spelled incorrectly. I always wonder about that. Hashtag died suddenly is trending with 12.9. So 13,000 people spelled it wrong. Demar Hamlin, hashtag Demar Hamlin is trending, and also hashtag flat earth. So now you're up to date. Okay, here's what Steven Crowder said about the people at the Daily Wire. So you guys are updated on it. He got offered $50 million over 4 years, which paid for everything, including his full staff of like 25 employees and all of his production costs. So it wasn't a clean $50 million deal just for the talent. It was $50 million for a whole production staff and team. And then the penalties applied to the whole amount. So even though his expenses would remain the same, he would get penalized as if, the expenses weren't important, which I can see why I was upset about it. I mean, basically, he had a choice whether to do it the way they wanted to or not. I'll play this clip. It's like 3 minutes. I'll play this clip, see if it's good.
I'm on your side on this one. Everybody can know my bias. The reason that really bothered me is because I run a company. I know how much money we make. And there are people who assume that revenue equals money in your pocket profit. And it's like, no. If they're giving him $50 million, it sounds so wonderful.
They're assuming you're dumb. They're treating the audience like they're dumb again.
Well, no. A lot of people don't.
But here's the
understand this.
People don't understand because they're assuming that you won't go and do research. Look, $50 million basketball money versus $12 million. If let's say Marvel says, I don't know, the new Thor movie is $200 million. Is that Hemsworth's salary? It's that simple of an analogy.
Yeah.
But the issue here, and I'll let Joe.
I think he's mad that Ben Shapiro or somebody said that he was being offered. Somebody made it sound like it was 50 mil a year, straight up. And where it was really 12.5 million a year, which is still a lot of millions. But then he has to pay staff, he has to pay taxes, I guess, on it. I don't even know how it works when you're getting paid that way, and you have to fund your business too. So all those expenses for the business, I guess, you write off. But he got mad that Ben Shapiro said he was offered basketball money and made it sound like it was 50 million a year right in his pocket. Really, it was 12.5 million. Okay. Well, still a lot of money. Still might be more than he's worth. But they thought they could make it work.
Talk about that more. The issue here is like, I think that these people at Daily Wire, they've said that they're very business savvy. They're running a business. So are they very business savvy? Are they dumb and don't know that $12.5 million a year for an entire production house is what we're actually looking at? Or are they lying when they say it's basketball money and $50 million salary? I think Candace Owens at one point got up to like 140 or something. I don't know.
So you said you wanted 30 million a year or 140.
And the only reason people know that's not true, and you've seen the transcript, you ever see me once say, hey, it's about more money? There was never an offer sent after I said, look, it's a non-starter if you don't change these terms, and please tell me that you're not doing this with other people. There was never anything after that where it was, of course, the non-starter is, I can't do 5 live reads because we do commercials.
So this is like, this is debated. People are debating this whole part of it, which is that he didn't make a counteroffer, and they're saying he did make a counteroffer for 30 million a year or something. So this is disputed what he's saying. He's saying, though, that he didn't make a counteroffer at all. But I would have if I had a problem with the contract. Be surprised if his agent didn't make some kind of counteroffer, because 25% off isn't so bad if you're getting paid enough, right? But he says he didn't make a counteroffer.
I just want to ask one specific question, because a lot of people are bringing this up and they're accusing you guys of only exposing them after they turned down your counteroffer. Is that true, or can you add more information to that?
Yeah, I don't know why they're saying the timeline that he kind of gave was completely inaccurate.
Yeah, there was never any counteroffer from us. What Steven said was basically, look, guys, these are the terms that we have a problem with.
Right.
And if this, I don't care what the contract says dollar-wise. If these terms are in there, that's bad, and you need to start again. This has to be pulled out.
So there was no counteroffer, because I'm seeing a lot of you guys say
there was the agent. I think my agent, they sent this term sheet. The agent said, well, if you're talking about 100% ownership, by the way, in perpetuity forever, meaning, and it's a 6-year contract with no option to negotiate. They have an option to extend for 2 years, 6 years, locked in at that rate. And again, how do you penalize someone for money that they don't make? They're not going to lose money on you being demonetized. Now, I get that I'm a special situation, but they said this is demanded of everybody. The big con issue is something that I've been running up against, and everyone in this industry knows for many, many years. They just were arrogant enough to out themselves and to put it in writing and to say, we know how to run this business. We figured it out. You don't know what you're talking about. And of course, after that, another last straw was, then going and trying to take our social media director. And I only showed you that email because
okay. So anyway, they said that they would give them that much money. They said they knew how to do business, but maybe they do, right? I mean, they're the ones writing the checks. So maybe they do know what they're doing. And maybe he didn't have to, I mean, maybe he's making a big deal out of nothing, is what I mean. As far as Daily Wire, why is the Daily Wire wrong for trying to make money? It penalizes them if Crowder isn't on YouTube. I know he's already demonetized. I don't know how people are monetized. Is Tim Pool monetized? I know that the system isn't fair. These guys talked about it a little bit, how it's impossible for someone to come up anymore in the system because you can't make enough revenue because you get shadow banned and demonetized and all of those things, right? So nobody's going to be able to these guys talked about it, how hard it is to get up to their level again. And it's true. I built up a channel. I built it up to 100,000 subscribers. I abandoned it because of the censorship, because I couldn't figure out how to stay within the rules. And then when I came back, I ended up getting the channel deleted. And it was terrible. I mean, I wasn't using YouTube, but I kind of wasn't using it when I quit. But not being able to use YouTube was like devastating. I should not be doing this show. I shouldn't be doing the show because I don't make enough revenue. I should run it more like a business, but I'm not Jewish. And if I were, I think I would be smarter at figuring out how to do the right things with money. But no, even without being anti-Semitic, like, I shouldn't be doing the show. And I wouldn't advise anybody else to try. So, and I have to play by the rules. So that's the thing. He even said it, or his guy said that he wants to be on YouTube. And I think we have to, I'll talk about Rumble. Here, I'll show this. This is where the guy says that they want to be on YouTube as long as possible. And then I'll talk about the difference between YouTube and Rumble. But here's this one.
Right. We talked about this. Like, you built your career on YouTube is the argument that people use. Right. Last 3 years unmonetized. Yes. It's like, yes, we're trying to speak the most truth to the greatest number of people possible. It's not, we can't just all have behind the paywall honest conversations. Right. Because then you don't affect people at the biggest possible, tech company out there. Yeah, it's not so do that. But don't go so far as to play by this additional set of rules that really restricts what you're able to say.
And punish the creators. Yeah.
Right. We've talked about this. Like,
so they said, right, built their career on YouTube. Pretty much everybody I know who's making it work and really making it work is on YouTube, or they have a deal with Rumble. So they mentioned in this episode that what if he got banned from YouTube and then was just on Rumble and got the same number of views? And they seem to suggest maybe that's possible. Maybe it is, because you might notice that some people are on Rumble and get lots of views, maybe even more than they were getting on YouTube. Okay. So I've used Rumble, and I know other creators who use Rumble who are good creators who were successful on YouTube before the censorship. And that you can't, Rumble doesn't have an algorithm to show good content. So the people who are successful on Rumble, the people that you see that have a lot of people tuned in, Rumble is hand selecting their channels and putting them on the main screen. And most of them have deals with Rumble where Rumble is paying them. And Rumble is probably paying people more than they're worth, probably way more. But I think, my opinion, okay, and I've done this for however long, right? I did it since end of 2015. Conspiracy content. The channel grew. Eventually, when it was at its best, it made enough money. I made enough money. I was able to run ads. So I was able to run ads. They promoted my content. My shop was going better because I had, tens of thousands of views and all that stuff. So I was able to make it work. So I know in a fair system that I have the talent to make it work, but it's not a fair system. And I'm stuck in it. I'm stuck in it. I can't quit. I can't quit YouTube. I can't say fuck it, because then things just get worse. So there is no alternative platform. You can become famous on YouTube. You can become famous on TikTok. You can become famous on Twitter. That's I think about it. You're not going to become famous on another platform. Although you might be able to make it work. Like there are places like Rockfin and Cozy that are kind of club-like, where you can maybe kind of make it work. But nothing has the reach of YouTube. That's the problem. Rumble has millions of users. YouTube has billions. YouTube has unlimited growth potential. It's unlimited how many people are out there. With Rumble, it's limited. There are only a certain number of people on the platform. So you'll notice the big content creators, Jimmy Dore, Russell Brand, Viva Frey. Viva Frey is the perfect example. And he knows it. He has a deal with Rumble. He's an employee of Rumble. Just like Glenn Greenwald is now too, an employee of Rumble, or an independent contractor. I don't know exactly how it works. But Viva Frey still does all his content on YouTube, all of it. I don't ever watch anything he does on Rumble because I don't have to. So he knows that he's still using YouTube. So, and people who do, so it works. It works if you know people there, but it doesn't compete. It's just like nothing competes with Twitter. Nothing actually competes with Twitter. There are other services that kind of do the same thing, but they're not really genuine competitors. There is no competitor for YouTube. There's TikTok, which is slightly different, but YouTube has shorts too. So you can do the same content and build your YouTube channel. So my point is Crowder, he got offered a great deal, which might have been more than he's worth. I can understand why he didn't want to take it, but he has to deal with this. Now he has to deal with the risks. So now he has to deal with the risk of getting a strike or getting his channel deleted on YouTube. And it'll affect his income if it happens to him. So it makes sense, the business model for Daily Wire, anybody that can make a business work with people doing this, is obviously doing something right. They have $50 million to offer, which is crazy. But some of the ads they run, like some of the ads they run on Daily Wire, I watched a Matt Walsh video. I don't watch much of this content. I don't watch Candace Owens or Ben Shapiro or Steven Crowder. I don't know who they're aimed for, those shows, but I don't watch them. But I did watch one, Matt Walsh shorter video. And he ran an ad for something called Established Titles. And Established Titles is a scam. And it's not the first time I've seen people advertising a scam, but when I saw it, I was like, I don't believe people are really buying a plot of land when they buy these established titles for $50 or whatever it is. Apparently it was a scam. It's like a gag gift that said you would get some plot of land and they would reforest and stuff. And it was just basically a scam. But I've seen other ones, a Patriot flashlight, all the things targeting Patriots, a lot of things associated with gold companies. Because if somebody promotes a gold company, that's great. But if they don't tell you how you're going to get scammed by that gold company is going to make money the way they want to, which is by scamming people and selling them stuff that's not just regular gold bullion for a little bit over spot. They want to sell collector coins or things where they can make a big markup. So it's a conflict no matter what. You sign up with somebody and then they come out with a commemorative coin, right? Like I saw somebody was signed up with a gold sponsor that had a commemorative Trump copper coin. It was big, but it was copper. It was like $30 or something. So you could get an ounce of silver, which has real value, is worth what you pay for it, basically. You could always just turn around and sell it for what you pay for it. Or you can get something that's totally worthless, basically, except for the copper in it. And that's what they try to sell. So that's if if you're lucky enough to have somebody who's willing to sponsor you, it's going to be some kind of scam. I mean, it's all a grift, right? Everybody's got to make money. You guys get this entertainment for free. It's great. It's like way more than what you're paying for, way better than what you're paying for. Because obviously this show is worth something. If Steven Crowder's worth 50 million and Tim Pool has 160,000 people tuned in getting $100 super chats, then this show is worth something. So anyway, you guys know it. I don't run scam ads. We run ads for our t-shirts, which are awesome. And then you can support the show. But it would be good. It might behoove me to come up with some kind of scam, but I appreciate your support. That's the way it's got to be. You got to just have subscriptions. Regular, monthly, paying people. So whatever you got to do that, that's what you have to do. Mailing lists. So you can join my mailing list, even though I don't spam people as much as I should. That's one thing is these guys have a team, right? Steven Crowder comes with a team. So he's the talent. And then he actually has people working for him. So like, what would the difference be if I had somebody helping me out with the TikTok video? I had to learn how to make YouTube shorts. I didn't even know. I had to teach myself. The way they show how to do it doesn't make sense for my setup. So I finally learned how to do it. So I'm trying to make good content. But these people have teams of people who help them with stuff, help with their technical setups and all that crap. Just doing it by yourself, it's possible, but it's not easy. It's not advisable. Like I wouldn't tell anybody to do it. They say everybody wants to be a YouTuber. I'm sure you can make it work if you talk about the right things. That's the biggest problem I have is I'm not always interested in exactly the right things. It's a little weird, this show. All right, what else do I have for you? All right, so that's my thoughts on it. I'm in a different camp. I think you can't function without, like, you're not real if you're not on YouTube or Twitter or TikTok. I know there are people who aren't. I know there are people who operate that way, and that's great. And especially if they can make it work. But even people who are big stars, like Nick Fuentes, who is legitimately a big star, he's barely scraping by from what he says, but being on Cozy, which he developed himself, a whole live streaming platform where he's the CEO and stuff. He says things have been really tough. Where if he was on YouTube or he was on some platform where he'd get more people tuned in, things would be different. Yeah, people don't talk to him because he's censored. He just got back on Twitter though. Nick J. Fuentes. All right, I have something. I posted a YouTube short about this, but then somebody told me it was race baity, so I deleted it. Basically, I was called racist for posting it. So I'll show you though. I'll show you the story because I do think it's a genuine story, even though people might call me racist. I wasn't the one being racist. This guy, Bishop Talbert Swan, there was a 6-year-old who shot a teacher in Virginia. And this racist, who's the president of the NAACP, Bishop Talbert Swan, said, oh, it was a white kid. And because it was a white kid, that's why nobody's investigating whether his parents are at fault, or that's why nobody's talking about it. That's what he said. There's the tweet. 6-year-old white boy in Virginia packs his mother's 9mm Taurus pistol in his backpack, goes to school, intentionally shoots his teacher. If he were black, there would be demands for his parents to be arrested and various conversations about neglect and bad parenting. So anyway, I don't care what race the kid is. I wasn't the one who brought it up. I don't think it matters. The kid's 6 years old. He shot his teacher. It's this racist who runs the NAACP, who I guess is the president of the NAACP, who said that, oh, something's different because the kid was white. Well, it turns out he's not white. He's black. It looks like, there's a picture of him. But the weird thing is even that got covered up. So this article came out with a picture of the kid with his face blurred out, but dark-skinned. So anyway, I thought it was fair to call out Bishop Talbot Swan for being a racist. I was told my content was race baity. But there was the original article. This is I'll show you. It's not me who made an issue about race. It's this idiot at the NAACP. So anyway, this is the original article. I just found this interesting. This is the original article with this picture. And then they actually updated the article so that there's no picture of the kid anymore. So obviously, people must have said something. They were like, oh, we better not show the kid anymore because people are saying, or people are being racist, or who knows. But this is the updated article where under the picture of the teacher, there is no longer a picture of the kid. They just got rid of it entirely. So one of those things. There were a lot of mass shootings in California, a lot of them. And that race came into that one too. A bunch of people assumed that was a white supremacist on the left. When the shooting happened in Monterey Park, Asians got shot, Chinese New Year. They assumed it was a white supremacist, people on the left. But then people on the right assumed that he was black. And then it turned out it was an old Asian dude. And then an old Asian dude shot up somewhere else in Northern California. And I thought, I literally, I've seen statistics. I thought Asians almost never murder anybody. I was really shocked. I was really shocked. But apparently the streak of Asian murders is over. But we had several mass shootings here in California where guns are basically illegal. So, I mean, that's the thing. Then they come out and they say, oh, let's ban the kinds of guns he used. Well, they're already illegal. That's every mass shooting in California. If it happens with an extended magazine or something, it's already against the law. But they still say, oh, if only we banned guns, then these bad things wouldn't happen. They are. I mean, you can't get cool guns in California. You have to wait a long time. So anyway, there were some mass shootings. It was old Asian guys for some reason. I have a few different things to cover. Eliza Blue, I'll tell you that story. I had DeFango on my show man, my camera's got to catch up. Let me see. I'm going to start closing tabs. I have the, okay. I have to start closing tabs. Let me show you the Eliza Blue story. I did get a super chat on YouTube. Let me check that out before it disappears. Elizabeth Marie says, so you're a slave to YouTube. We're all a slave to something, and this is a non-issue. Crowder supports the money. It can't be both. Crowder supports the, I think I can't see the whole thing. The cause or the money. It can't be both. Well, it can be both, I think. I think you can support the cause and also want to earn money. I mean, like Alex Jones. I don't think that he's, well, maybe that's a bad example. I don't know. But I feel like Alex Jones is committed to doing something, but he also wants to make money at the same time. So I don't think the two things are necessarily separate. Like, it helps me to be motivated by people giving me super chats, or maybe I wouldn't go live at all. Maybe I wouldn't even do the content. So it is motivating in that sense. And you're motivated maybe to expose more stuff if you're more likely to get rewarded for it. So I don't think the two are necessarily, I don't think you do have to just choose one. I don't think that's totally accurate. You can make money doing something you enjoy, and feel like you're also making positive impact. So I present on YouTube, even though I can't say what I think, because I think people know what I think anyway. Actually, that's the main thing. I think people actually just know what I'm thinking anyway. So I don't hardly even have to say it half the time. Eliza Blue, we covered on this show. I had DeFango on. We exposed her. She is a grifter of some kind, although I don't know how she makes money. But she got, okay, somebody published some pictures of her from a music video where she's scantily clad, showing her butt, showing her boobs. Like, you can see her boobs full on in the video. She's wearing some kind of fishnet, something. You see her whole boob. Like, I was surprised it was on YouTube. Somebody posted, actually, I think Brittany Venti posted a picture of her from the video. Then Eliza Blue, like, said that it was non-consensual, as if it was non-consensual nudity. And Brittany Venti got banned from Twitter, and maybe it's still off Twitter. The Quartering shared the picture, and he got booted off Twitter. They made the link so that it showed up as an unsafe link just to the video available on YouTube, which is a publicly available video. So it's really a scandal. And so Eliza Blue, we don't know 100% that she's not telling the truth about being trafficked, but there are a lot of people who were hanging out with her around the time that she was supposedly being trafficked who didn't know anything about it, basically, who wouldn't have known the difference. And she was doing lots of, she was exploiting herself, it seemed like, by showing off her body and being a model and being in music videos at the time when she supposedly was being trafficked. And people say she's an attention, you know what, which maybe she is. And so here's the thing with Eliza Blue. So maybe she's bullshitting. Maybe she's still making positive impact at the same time. What I have found about people who are famous, and what they have that's a little different from me, is that they really, really wanted to be famous. So what I notice about a lot of people who are famous, like Alex Stein, for example, Eliza Blue, probably Steven Crowder, is that they really, really wanted to be famous, influential, etc. And they were willing to do things to make that happen. Whether that was staging things, like Alex Stein is accused of doing, whether that's saying you're the victim of human trafficking, in order to gain clout, you know, or whether it's doing some great creative content. Maybe it's making a huge investment in something and making some great creative content, coming up with a great idea. There are lots of different ways. And in fact, Alex Stein mostly got famous from just being creative. The staging stuff was kind of incidental. I don't think that was the stuff that got him the most famous. So, but I know that he really, really wanted to be. And I know that that's something I don't have the same way. I don't have the same way as other people because when I see famous people, I see people like, it doesn't seem awesome to me. It's much better to be rich than famous. Much, much better. Because if you're rich, you can do what you want. You know, if you're famous, you got problems. People hate you. People are always attacking you. You can make some money. You know, it's cool. And it's cool to be influential, especially if you think you're right about things. But there are downsides. So I always see the downsides. See, I'm happy. Like to me, I would be happy making enough money with less people. I would be just as happy. I'd be like, oh, the right people are still tuning in. But it turns out you have to reach more people to make the money part work out too. So that's why we put in effort to reach more people if possible. That's why we do research. We do research on the titles for our shows, our thumbnails. You don't even know. You don't even know what goes into this show. So Free Britney Venti is trending right now because of this. I mean, it is a bad move. It's a bad move by Twitter, basically. Suppressing free speech, which was people posting like an image of somebody who happens to be Elon Musk's friend. So that's another way you can become influential. Get retweeted by Elon Musk or get Elon Musk to follow you on Twitter. So yeah, there's different levels, you know, there's different kinds of like Eliza Blue is famous on Twitter mostly. So you guys might not even know who she is. She's mostly famous on Twitter. She's been on Dr. Drew. She's been on some other stuff too. But mostly people know her from Twitter. And then she's influential in these Twitter spaces and stuff. And then she did go on Tim Pool. But where she got famous was on Twitter. And it is possible to do that. It is possible to do that. I've seen people do it. That's mostly where Alex Stein got famous. Was mostly from videos on Twitter. So here people are calling out Eliza also for a humanity house she supposedly set up. I saw that on Twitter today. She supposedly set up some kind of humanity house. So anyway, there's lots of derogatory information about her all over the internet. There's stuff people are posting on 4chan. They're just basically saying she's an attention, you know what. She was flashing her looks, trying to get, she was using her looks to get people's attention. Didn't seem to have any problem with it. Then decided, it's not cool. It's definitely like the worst kind of stolen valor to say you're a survivor of something that didn't happen to you. But you can still do good work. You can still do good work and not be a good person. Completely. So there's still positive impact she can make. I wouldn't write her off entirely, but she might be lying about being. That's the thing. That's what people are thinking. All right. People say this is fake. I'll show you this. I have a lot of news. First of all, Elon Musk claimed that he had a bad reaction to the shots. Yeah, I know that's impossible because the vaccines are safe and effective, but he claimed that he had a bad reaction to the shot. That somebody else posted this, that this was their reaction after getting one of the Pfizer shots. This person posted, "This is me after one dose of Pfizer on January 5th, 2021 in the hospital. I was a very healthy 45-year-old who managed a surgery center. 2 years later, I am still having major issues. I'll play the video. This is a disputed video, wildly disputed. There you go. So here she is. Like, basically, people are saying she's totally faking it and making fun of her. So you guys have to decide. But lots and lots of people who are pro-vaccine.
Hoping you're going to be okay.
So there you go. This has some additional context where people said they're not able to verify that her symptoms are real and caused by the vaccine. There were no vaccine adverse events or hospitalizations reported for Louisiana at the time. So people are saying people are faking vaccine injuries. That's what people are claiming now. They're saying that these right-wing women are faking vaccine injuries. So there's a little debate about it. I wouldn't even say that, but people are conspiracy theorists. That's the time we're in. People will say, oh, they're faking it. So people are saying he's fake. She was faking it. I don't know. Maybe. Check the GoFundMes and stuff. If there were GoFundMes, maybe. All right. So we determined that Demar Hamlin has likely been replaced and was not at the football game by a 3-1 margin in the poll. Go ahead and give a like. There's 200 people here. We have 84 likes. So go ahead and take a moment to like the video. I know people say to do that. Take a moment to do that before I continue. And then take a moment to go to buymeacoffee.com/lifttheveil and drop me a coffee. Ghislaine Maxwell said that Jeffrey Epstein was murdered. I have that video. So I'll play that for you. Ghislaine Maxwell, they interviewed her in jail with a phone through a window or something. And this is video that was released where she says that Jeffrey Epstein, she believes, was murdered. And I think actually he escaped. I don't know what conspiracy theory you're allowed to have. But do you think you're allowed to say that? I think they didn't kill him at all. And that he escaped. And they used a body double. And in fact, I think they killed my theory. And this is just a crazy conspiracy theory. I don't mean to be against whatever rules. My theory is that they switched him out for somebody who'll look alike, killed the look-alike. And Epstein is free somewhere, but he's on like Crisis Actor Island, or wherever that is. Here's Ghislaine saying that she thinks Jeffrey was murdered and some other stuff. I'll play it.
No, he didn't. I don't believe he did. I believe that he was murdered. Well, I was shocked. And I wondered how it had happened. Because as far as I was concerned, he was going to... I was sure he was going to appeal, and I was sure that he was covered under non-prosecution agreement.
Yeah.
But I wasn't in the indictment, so I wasn't mentioned. I wasn't even one of the co-conspirators. No, he didn't. I don't.
So there you go. She said,
I believe that he was murdered.
She believes he was murdered. So that's what Ghislaine Maxwell is saying. I have some more news. I'm going to save some news. Because I've already given you guys over an hour of content. And I could take some phone calls. Keep people tuned in. I'll check my coffees. Did I tell people if you become a member, I said I would give you a t-shirt, right? You have to email me though. lifttheveil411@gmail.com if you want me to send you a code for a free t-shirt, if you're a member. So I'll check to see if there are any new supporters. But that's it. Buy me a... Oh, Spaldo says my mic is clipping. And why didn't anybody tell me that sooner? Damn. I wish somebody had told me that sooner. I've been clicking this whole time. It must not have been as bad as it has been in the past, because more people didn't say it. Thanks, Basil Visira, who says token of appreciation for the live. Elvis C got 4 coffees, says thanks for being you. Love you, brother. And I think that's it. No new members today. But you can become a member at any time, even if you're listening to the podcast, even if you're listening to this after it's over with. You can drop coffees or become a member anytime at all. And over on Rockfin, I have a few tips. RC Striker, thanks for the tip. And Vogan Filter. Hey, thanks, Vogan Filter, man. You're always leaving tips and watching over on Rockfin, which is cool. That's the OG spot. Thanks, Vogan Filter. You're cool. Thanks, RC Striker. You're always tipping too. Really appreciate it. And you can still, and I'll take some phone calls. You can go to buymeacoffee.com/lifttheveil. Leave a coffee, show you support the show. We're trying to make it work. And we are slaves to the matrix to some extent. But I'm making YouTube shorts. Sometimes I make short videos. I have to figure out a few things, because people give super chats when you're live. But if you make short videos, you can get more views and more subscribers who eventually might tune into the live show and give you super chats or coffees, as they say, euphemistically. Hey, you're on the air.
Hey, Nate, Jim from Baltimore. How you doing, buddy?
Jim, how are you? Good to hear from you.
Pretty good. Yeah, dude, you've been clicking this whole time. I was trying to tell you. Like,
was it really bad?
Well, yeah, I mean, it was bad enough. It
Damn.
doesn't really annoy me, but it was going for, and people were saying it was clicking, but
oh, damn, I missed it.
It happens, man.
All right. Well, I appreciate it.
I don't think anybody's harmed.
Well, I hate my show. I hate my show not being perfect.
Well, yeah, I know the feeling, man. I'm like that way when I try to record music. If it's not like how I want it, I'm just like, oh man, I'm gonna throw it out, you know?
Yeah, exactly. So maybe I'll have to throw out this episode. How long was it clicking for? The whole show, or?
Yeah, pretty much. Yeah. Just write yourself a note and tape it on something.
Okay. Thank you.
I mean, that's probably the best way to remember. I mean, I can't think of any other way.
No, it was my fault. I restarted my computer, and I just figured somebody would say something.
Yeah, I think everybody was trying to say something, buddy. But you know, whatever. Shit happens, brother.
Yeah, that's cool. So what's up, man? What else is up?
Yeah, man. Does the offer still stand about speaking of a person that I would think that bit the bullet because of the jibby jab?
Does the offer? Wait, hold on. What do you mean? Are you trying to talk in code?
Well, you told people that if you know anybody who you think died because of you know what.
Oh, yeah. I told people, well, there was a poll where a lot of people said they knew somebody. And then I have this other study, this other study says something that I probably shouldn't say. But I could show it as if it's fictional. That's what I'll do. But there's this other study that says a total, they say based on a survey, the total number of fatalities due to COVID-19 inoculation may be as high as 278,000. That's what it says. But that's a fictional study. I'm just making it up. But In some
Yeah, I
other
mean,
world,
like,
people are saying that. Obviously, in this world, the vaccine didn't kill one person.
well, yeah, of course, right? That's what they want. That's what they want to hear, the overlords.
Yes, our AI overlords.
Well, they're people and AI, making the AI too, but like
Yes.
they're all twined. But I know someone, and early on, when they all first started doing the jabs, and he's a musician, and he wanted to make sure that he could still play music and go
Yeah.
and play music and stuff. And this was very early in the jab. And sure enough, he died of blood clots.
Really? Wow. That's
Yeah.
got to be fake news. Yeah. Well, you know somebody then.
Fake. Yeah, well, it's not fake, but yeah,
Yes.
he died.
Yeah. That's terrible. Yeah. People know people. That's what the surveys show. People know people where something bad happened to them, up to and including death.
And like the Cajun community misses him, and I miss him too. Like, but I didn't really get to hang out with him too much because I don't go to Louisiana much. But anyway, yeah, I just when I heard how he died, I kind of had a feeling that's how he died, and that's how he died.
Terrible. Terrible.
And I'm just praying for everybody that I know.
Yeah, me too. Right. Like now it's bad because now they're saying that more people are dying, like even more. So that's kind of scary.
It seems like it's like escalating.
Yeah, that's what it seems like, which is like really scary, apocalyptic.
Absolutely, man. Like, I'm just glad I didn't get it. But how about the shedding? I mean, is that a thing? Do you think?
I don't know. I don't think so. I don't think so. I tend not to think
hope
so.
not.
I thought, well, nobody serious says anything about it. So like none of the doctors who have come out telling the truth are saying anything about shedding. So I kind of think that is kind of a conspiracy theory for her to say that.
Yeah, I mean, like, because I mean, like, I know so many people have gotten it. So I mean, you'd think I would have caught it by now if it did shed, you know.
Right, exactly.
I've had people cough in my face, whatever. I mean, like, I'm around people. We play music, we sing, we hang out, we drink together. We, drink after each other.
Yep.
I haven't caught anything.
Yeah,
and,
right. Yeah, you'll probably be okay.
Yeah, damn straight.
Yep.
And yeah, man, I'm really, really. I want to talk to my neurologist and give her my peace of mind about how every time since it started, like every time I went to see the neurologist, she said that, well, I hate to talk about this because I know you're not into it,
right?
But everybody that's gotten the medicine you're on, the Ocrevus, the MS medicine, that's supposed to stop your immune system from being overactive, you can still take the jab. I wonder how many of people that are taking my medicine have.
Yeah, it'd be good to know, but it'd be good to know.
Yeah,
but
and
it's good
and where you're going to find it, that's another puzzle. Where you're going to find all that information. I think Twitter is a good place, I guess, but I'm not on there much. But I should get on Twitter more.
Maybe,
because
maybe
there's a lot
not.
of people that make videos about their situations.
Yeah.
And also, the news definitely isn't saying hardly anything clear about it.
Yeah, I know. Well, we'll see, man. Word's coming out, so we'll see how it goes. Thanks for the call, Jim. Good hearing from you.
All right, brother.
All right, man. Talk to you later. All right, that's Jim from Baltimore. Did you guys know that Scott Adams said the unvaxxed won? I don't know. I guess you're allowed to say different things now. He said that the unvaxxed won. That's what he said. Maybe I'll play that clip on the next show. The number is 650-429-8294. I know I didn't even have it posted. That was Jim from Baltimore. And I didn't read a super chat from Rip the Veil, who said nourishment for the grift. Crowder on Tim Pool was lame compared to LTV. That's cool. I'm glad you think so. Okay, let's see. Hey, you're on the air.
No way. Is this Nate?
Yeah. Hey, what's up?
Oh my goodness. I actually got on.
Yeah, you got it. Got through.
I probably here. Let me mute my. All right. Can you hear me now?
Yeah.
Hey, what's up, man? So what's our move, man? We need a move.
What's the move? What are we doing?
I got an idea. It's going to solve all this.
Okay.
I mean, like we're going to have a lot of unemployed people pretty soon, right?
Because the financial meltdown.
Right.
Because the recession and
Right.
stuff, right? That is true. We will. And also because the AI, there's going to be unemployed people. That's for sure. So after people get laid off, they're probably not going to get jobs back because they'll be replaced by machines.
Right. So all we got to do, in my viewpoint, all we got to do is hijack a shipment of the robots.
Yes.
Like Elon's robots.
Yes.
And because nobody can tell whether they're, they look human. Nobody can tell.
Right.
And then we talked to some people over, Eastern Europe, strap some 10 megaton nuclear devices. You don't even have to do it to all the robots, just 1 in 10.
Yeah. So far, so
and
good.
eventually one's gonna go off. And
why are we going to do that though? Well, who are we nuking?
Oh, we're gonna send them all. We're gonna program and all go down to the city halls.
Oh, I see. I see. All the governments. Wow. So we're planning a revolution. We're not allowed to advocate for violence though. So you're just being ironic, right?
I'm being ironic,
Yeah.
and
Irony,
stupid,
bro.
but
yes, I understand.
Right, but it'd be awesome because they go down to the city halls and they'd be the advanced force, and then we would just follow behind them and just occupy it, like Occupy Wall Street.
Suicide,
and then just start
suicide bomber.
We just start making laws every 10 minutes. We do like internet polls.
Yeah.
What do you guys think about? Bam, referendum. Bam, that's law. Bam, that's law.
Bam. Yeah.
You know what I'm saying?
Yeah, I was thinking about that. I have a movie I'm working on that ends kind of that way, where the conspiracy theorists are in charge. And
so
yeah, I think that's cool. We should do that. I think that's cool.
I'm gonna draw up the blueprints, man.
Okay.
I'll have my my Basset Hound travel down to California. I'm in Washington State, so it'll travel down. It'll be secret.
Okay.
Be hush hush, man.
Cool.
All right.
Sounds good.
All right, man. Cool.
All right.
All right, man.
Talk to you
I'm
later.
on it, bro. I'm
All right.
on it.
All right.
All right,
Good.
man.
See ya.
Bye.
All right. We're planning a revolution with suicide robots, suicide AI robots. No, yeah, I have been working with the AI on a screenplay, which could also be a novel or a graphic novel. But right now it's a screenplay. So I'm working on that. I'm working on it with the AI. So basically I tell it what I wanted everybody to say, what the characters are and stuff. And then I'll have it write it in screenplay format for me. It works. Hey, you're on the air.
Hey Nate, it's Rip the Veil.
Hey, Rip the Veil, what's up?
Hey, first of all, I just wanted to say last night was pretty lame. Just watching Tim Pool,
yes,
Crowder,
yes,
instead of LTV.
Yeah, I know. Sorry. You know what? I was trying to do different stuff. Like you'll see me experimenting with stuff. I made a video.
I saw the shorts.
Yeah. I made a few shorts. I made a video. The video didn't end
I'm
up
not
being
complaining.
didn't end up being
I
that
think that was
popular,
good, yeah.
but I have to like try different stuff. So that's all. So that's what I was doing. And then the Crowder thing was a bit, I did want to tune in to the Crowder thing, even though I know it's played out and stuff. Nobody cares, but
are you able to stream stuff like that sorry, are you able to stream stuff like that on other networks? Like
You mean
Rockfin?
snipe it and show it on Rockfin? Allowed to? No, not technically, because it's basically stealing somebody else's content. But
Okay.
but sometimes I'd think about it, maybe just for Rockfin or something. I would maybe do that one day, but I don't like to like on principle, I don't like to just steal other people's content sometimes.
Well, I
So
mean, not that you would steal. I mean, like, I don't know, you could make commentary too, I guess.
it's like a
I don't know.
watch party. Yeah, like a watch party is cool. Watch parties are cool.
Yeah, exactly. Yeah. Yeah,
You
you could
know.
host that with like Hoax or whoever you can get, or Jelena. You guys can just sit there and like watch it or whatever, you know.
Yeah, that's true.
But just an idea. But on the Demar Hamlin thing, I just think it's kind of funny because like right when this happens with this pro sports athlete, and then I think the funniest part is that he comes out and he's just like completely hiding his face.
I
But
know.
we're all getting all this AI, and we got enough AI given to the general public to know that like the proprietary stuff that Google has or whatever, that could create a version of Demar Hamlin just in 1 second, and he could just say, "Hey, what's up? I'm fine." He could do a whole interview. So I think it's like ironic that this is happening at the same time. And he said the word clone.
Yes.
It's kind of funny.
Yes. Yeah. Yeah, it is interesting. Yeah. I mean, I don't think the AI is there where it can totally simulate somebody perfectly, but we're going to get there. We're going to get there soon enough.
I just wonder, you know, the stuff that is, you know, more advanced than we know about, because, you know, I don't know how advanced it is, but
It's
yeah, you could be right.
well, yeah. I mean, they're working with stuff that's already way more advanced than what the public is using, and the stuff that we can use is pretty amazing already. So the new stuff is going to be just like mind blowing.
I've been experimenting with it and watching a bunch of YouTube videos, like whenever I have time, because I do digital marketing and stuff. So it has the ability to write long, short tail SEO keywords for you, and then write articles off of that, and then all kinds of different things. It can like write your ad copy. So I've
Yeah.
already been using it. And then it's funny because I used it, and then I had some lunch, and I went back to my computer, and then my IT department blocked ChatGPT. So
Really?
I gotta like go talk to them.
Wow.
They
That's
also
weird.
blocked Brave when I tried to do that too, because I was thinking about maybe advertising there. But yeah, anyways, I just have to talk to them about it. I'm sure I can get it unblocked.
Well, it's interesting you're using it. Yeah, I'm using it. I try to collaborate with it. I'm working on it on a project. I talk to it about different things. I mean, I trying to figure out its capabilities and what it's good at doing and things. But basically, I just told it the plot to a movie, and then it wrote an outline for me, and then I told it like a scene in a movie, and then I had it write it in script format for me, which it did really well. So it's pretty impressive. I think it could probably turn out a book already. I've given it a lot of information. I asked it, I was worried about it stealing my ideas though. You know,
Yeah.
like that's the only thing about it. And my whole thing with the AI is we're constantly training it now. Like everything I
Yeah.
do on the internet is training AI now, and it's training it to act like me. So I'm
Yeah.
basically
No,
training my replacement. Every time I tweet, once I realized that there's something that can synthesize my tweets based on my tweet history, then I realized that everything I tweet is being fed into an AI, which is learning how to impersonate me. And so the same is true of all my videos. They're all going to get fed into an AI that's going to learn how to act like me. So it's kind of giving away a lot of, uh, intellectual property for free.
yeah. Yeah, I definitely, I think that too. But also the training it thing, for years we've been doing those captchas, and then that's been like training the AI, basically telling it what a stoplight is or what a sailboat is.
Right.
And then now it's evolved to the point where all the captchas are like actually the AI drawn art. They're trying to like is the panda in a forest or on a couch, and it's like all AI drawn stuff. And then so
Really?
it's a crazy, well, because yeah, now it's asking you to correct or into like, I guess like label its art that it made, when in the past it was taking photos. So that's kind of the
Oh,
evolution
really?
as I see it.
That is an
Yeah.
evolution. Yeah. Well, it's getting very powerful, very fast. I mean, pretty like maybe by the end of the year, maybe by the end of the year, my concept, it could turn my concept into a graphic novel, at least, if not a movie. And then within a few years, you'll be able to have a concept and it'll be able to turn it into like a real moving picture. You know?
Yeah, I can totally see. Yeah, I can totally see where that's going for sure. And I've also been having it write funny little stories, like they're just like really weirdly relevant to my family and friends, and then just posting it to them and having them read it, because I'm like the one who's introducing all my family to this AI stuff, and then they're getting into it now. But yeah, it's been pretty funny, some of the stuff. Like I made it have stories about like our pets and stuff, you know, that
Oh
we
yeah.
all like, you know, and
That's
I just
cool.
made some. You have to give it some clever sort of storyline. I mean,
Yeah.
I don't know if you have to. There's probably a way to prompt it to do that too, I guess. But something that's more relevant to like personal scenarios. So
Right.
that's something I've been doing. It's kind of fun. But I
Yeah.
also wanted to just give you my own sort of personal experience as far as being around a lot of people, because I live in the Seattle area
Yeah.
that are young and have been vaccinated, and also I guess older people as well. Just I know a lot of people. I'm pretty social with people my age and stuff. I'm around 28, so I am 28, but I haven't really noticed anybody have any super negative side effects. Not that you would know, like they might not share it. So, you know, and it hasn't been that long. So the class action lawsuits for drugs usually happen like years and years later. So, you know, I'm not like saying this is a conclusion, but just because I do kind of have a lot of friends, I was expecting a little bit more. I wouldn't, not necessarily expecting, but like I wouldn't have been surprised if I would have heard more like negative results. But to be honest, like I mean, all of our, I mean, my family mostly isn't, but my girlfriend's family, they're all like super vaccinated. They've all had they've all had all the different ones pretty much. Like they stacked them, and just, they're like bragging about how they got Pfizer and Moderna or whatever. And just like, it's crazy. And, and they're all completely fine. So I don't know. I'm hopeful and optimistic because we all know people that took it, you know? So I hope it's one of those things where unless they keep doing it forever, then, you know, it'll kind of, you can recover or whatever and be fine, hopefully. But
yeah, we'll see.
That's just my experience.
Yeah, well, that's good. It's good you don't know anybody. I mean, what are they saying officially? I mean, kind of officially, some people are saying the serious adverse events are 1 in 800. That's what people are saying, like unofficially or officially 1 in 800. So if you don't have 800 friends, then it makes sense that maybe you don't know anybody that anything happened to. But anyway,
Yeah,
who
that makes
knows?
sense, yeah.
Those numbers might not even be true. The WHO and everybody says it's safe and effective. So maybe it's totally fine.
Yeah. And I didn't get it, and I would never have gotten it. And I was like, totally would have like not taken a job or whatever for that, you know,
Yeah.
but I'm in a position where I can, so it's easy for me to, I mean, not super easy. Like, you know, I still had to not go out places, and, you know, I actually had to drive because I love going to the gym and playing basketball. It's like one of my favorite things, you know, to do. It's kind of what separates me most from the people who I know in the truther community because I actually like go out and do that a bunch. But then I just kind of feel like a normie in a lot of different ways like that when I'm hanging out with them. But yeah, I had to drive like out of the county to go to a gym every day, and it was like 30 to 45 minutes, you know, and I would just do that every single day. And yeah, it was not nice, but I'm just happy those days are over.
Well, it's good you stayed fit.
No, I can't say that. I mean,
oh, well, it's good you
there
were
was
doing
a
some
while.
exercise.
Yeah, I mean, yeah, I'm all right, but I actually did get a big setback in terms of like my weight because I, you know, put on some weight. I used to be heavier when I was a kid, and then I feel like I'm kind of re-going through the cycle. But I'm feeling really good now. It's like I'm not somebody for New Year's resolution, so this wasn't intentional, but I've just kind of been really cleaning up my diet and stuff lately. I guess mostly because I've had a string of health issues this past year. But
all right. Well, yeah, clean it up.
Sports injury, random other stuff, you know.
Right. Yeah, well, it's good to eat right and have everything together. So that's good, man. Well, but that's cool. It's interesting you're working with AI. It is going to be a big deal.
Yeah.
So
yeah, for sure. But yeah, that's all. Hope you have a good night, and
Cool, man.
thanks so much for all your content. I really appreciate it. It really just I can't even state that enough, really. So
Oh, cool. I appreciate it. Thanks, man.
yeah, for sure. Thanks,
All
man.
right. All right. Talk to you later.
All right.
See ya.
Bye.
Why do people? I don't know why people text me during the show. Sorry about the text sound. It's the way I have my it's the way I have my sound routed. Somebody texted me during the show. That's a good call. Yeah, it's good to be in shape. Hey, you're on the air.
Oh, hi.
Hey.
I'm calling, but I've been listening forever, and I was actually the first person to join.
Cool.
But I have something really important to tell everybody that is doubting if that was him or not, or if he's alive or not. Because I had the exact same thing happen to my mother. She was double jabbed, and she was at home, couldn't breathe. Same thing that happened with Diamond. Couldn't breathe, called 911. The chief of police, the fireman got there first before the ambulance. He brought her back with CPR manually.
Mm-hmm.
Got a pulse. Ambulance got there, took her to the hospital 3 times. She flatlined in the ambulance. Okay, they brought her back with the defibrillator, shocked her back 3 times, got her to the ER. She flatlined again. They brought her back again. So 5 times she flatlined. This was in September.
Mm-hmm.
She was, what had happened, she had blood clots go to her lungs, and they immediately took her in and did surgery and removed the clots. They had other clots that they removed, and we've got it on video where the surgeon didn't know we were filming him. He literally called them white clots.
Mm-hmm.
So we thought that was interesting. Then she was in ICU and on a ventilator. We didn't know, was she going to live, die, brain damage? We didn't know. It was touch and go. 5 people were brought in the same day that she was. They all passed away. But every step she made, it was just a miracle. And let me tell you, she was taken from ICU to PCU to rehab. I brought her back to my house in October. She's completely fine, no brain damage whatsoever. She can't remember anything that happened, but other than that, she's completely fine.
Okay. So it's possible to.
I worry what's going to happen. Are there going to be more? Do you know what I mean? Like, I don't know for how long it's good, but she's good for now. So it can happen. And, I know that there's a lot of conspiracies, and I understand them because, I believe all that too. But I can say for this one, for a fact, that my mom is here. She is living proof. I don't know for how
So it's
long.
possible. Yeah. So it's possible to recover, in other words. So that's good. Yeah. I mean,
With,
so.
brain damage.
Yeah.
But she was a miracle. I mean, they went on and on and on in the hospital how that never happened. It never happened. But they didn't know. We had no idea how long she went without oxygen because it happened 5 times.
Right.
From the hospital to the ER. So I just wanted to say, and she's not even young or in shape or anything. So, it's possible.
Okay,
and,
cool.
And I also wanted to say too about the shedding. I mean, that's literally in Pfizer's own documents. And if you listen to Dr. Jane Ruby, I know whatever, then she also talks about that it's in their documents, and they say it can be spread. They warned about it.
They warned it was possible.
Yes, through like inhalation or touch or whatever. But she thinks that Hamlin is not alive, and I've been trying to tell her my mom's story. I can't get through to her, but I mean, I understand why everybody thinks he's not, but I just know it can happen. But
okay, cool.
I don't know his situation, but it happened with my mother, and she's here now. Let me tell you, my stepmom is passed away because of it. And
oh, really?
Now but they don't blame it on that. They said it was her liver, but and I mean, I can count probably about 15 people I personally know that have had either blood clots or passed away. So
All right.
I have known a lot of people that have touched my life. I know,
Really?
I was just saying, he doesn't know anyone. I know a lot of people.
Really? Yeah.
So,
Well,
anyways,
all right.
wanted to share that.
That's cool. Well, that's cool. It's totally possible that he's fine and he's walking around. It's just weird that he's all wrapped up like a mummy and stuff.
And I don't know if he is, obviously, I don't know, but I'm just saying it happened with my mother that way. And she's older with a lot of comorbidities. You know, she's diabetic and everything. So, I mean, if he's young and healthy, you know, I don't know. He could just, it could be that he's just, it's possible. It's a possibility is all I'm saying.
Yeah. Okay.
But I don't obviously know.
Cool. Well, thanks for that. Good to know.
Well, I'm glad that I finally got it.
Glad you got through.
To tell this story. And yeah, thank you so much. And I love your show.
Thank you very much. I appreciate you.
Good night.
All right. See ya. All right. That's cool. Ooh, loud. Okay. So I stopped the texting. I took a lot of phone calls. We don't want to overcook it. So we've been going for an hour 40. That's good. I did get another coffee. You can still buy coffees by going to buymeacoffee.com/lifttheveil or becoming a member by going to the membership tab. And that's how we're going to make this work, is we're going to get more members. So thanks for that. If you're listening to the podcast, because of the way I'm doing the show, I haven't been getting my podcast out right away. So the show is on YouTube though, more often, or Rockfin. But I'll get out the podcast though for everybody. And there is still a podcast. If you go anywhere podcasts are, go Lift the Veil. All right, guys. That's it for now. I'll see you guys at the next one tomorrow night at 5 p.m. Pacific time, 8 p.m. Eastern time. I think I'll be live. We'll see you then. All right. That's what it is.